Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines here. Jack Dorsey stepping down from Twitter and Twitter trading halt. We'll talk about that. Warren Davidson, congressman, speaks on the lack of clarity of crypto and more support for RippleNet and XRP. You're going to see evidence of that. And here's a little something we got for all of you about how we can keep our eye on the ball, because we could be staring down the barrel of 80+% upside because we see bullish divergence on the charts. We're going to hear from one of the technical experts in the space. And let's roll that beautiful intro. Here we go.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I want to give a shout out to Pat and Gordon. Two very dear friends of mine and Mrs. Backup. We love you guys. I think they are traveling right now to their new home that they're headed to, and we congratulate them on their new home, and we will miss you greatly. But that's why we got video calls and Zoom and all these other things, because we can stay in touch. I think the world of them, and I hope you guys travel safe. All right, looking right here, we see the charts are $2.623 trillion. We are up 8.14% on the crypto market cap. How about that one? Yeah, it's up. Is the dip over? ProCoin News asked that question this morning. And by the way, if you're not following ProCoin News, I would. It's an amazing crypto curator for news. Looking right here, Bitcoin 58,600 plus, Ethereum 4,400 plus. Everything's on the move, including XRP. Solana coming in $2 or $210 and change. Cardano is 162 now. XRP up 8.29% right now. And I'm going to write that number down because I'm liking it on the 24-hour. I got to be honest with you. We've seen a lot of price action get beat up over the holiday. And looking right here, we were at $1 just moments ago. I tweeted, but look at the price range on XRP. We are 0.9103 on the low side of the range and $1.43 on the upper and we will keep an eye on it and hear from technical analysts before we get out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Cyber Monday, which means we got great specials and deals for you of products and services that I use each and every day. I'm sure that a lot of you out here are going to want these things too, but why get them when you can get them with a deal? Pure VPN, 88% off right now. Ledger Nano got all kinds of specials going on. You got to click the links to get them. But I also want to tell you right now, if you come down here and reach out to Clinton Donnelly, if you're not sure about taxes, by the way, Unstoppable Domains. Check this out. Unstoppable Domains. You click the link and this is where it takes you. You get 24 hours where you buy one domain, get one free, only for 24 hours. I tell you, this is amazing. Just starting at $20 plus, you can get one free domain right now for the next 24 hours. Make sure you guys check that out. Short sale, but really great stuff. Specials and deals are amazing right now. Don't mess around. 40 million XRP moved to Binance Exchange and sold immediately. How about that one? You know, I made the point in this morning's video. If you haven't watched it, I really highly suggest you go take a look at it. In the time that we're in right now, while the SEC Ripple case is playing out, we are watching more advancements happening than we have ever seen before on a grander scale. We've seen the announcement of the Central Bank of Bhutan. We've seen the announcement of Ripple's private ledger. We've seen the announcement of the Republic of Palau going to launch a nationally backed cryptocurrency with the US dollar within the first 6 months of 22 is the plan. Now, knowing just those things right there, and there's a lot more to know. The announcement of the Ripple Liquidity Hub, let's throw that in too. Just knowing those things and understanding that the real difference in all of this news rolling out is that United States retail investors have been suppressed in the manner to where they cannot get the asset XRP in the manner that they were before the lawsuit. You can currently get it right now on Uphold and BitTrue, so that I thank them for having it. But here we see 40 million XRP moved from Binance Exchange and sold immediately. We don't know where to. But again, let's get into the news. Jack Dorsey stepping down as the Twitter CEO. And I have to say, this is pretty interesting stuff going on here. It says here that co-founder, chief executive officer of Twitter is stepping down, according to a person familiar with the situation. He's 45 years old, and he is also the head of payments company Square, and has been taking an increased interest in cryptocurrencies recently. CNBC reported news earlier Monday without providing any other details. Twitter couldn't immediately be reached for comment. But along with him stepping down, trading on Twitter was halted, with Jack Dorsey's expected to quit as chief. Now, this is interesting to me why they would halt the trading. The decision to quit comes nearly 2 decades after Dorsey reached a truce with activist investor Elliott Management, it says, which had tried to oust him, which was unclear who would replace him. Shares in the company jumped 10% in the pre-market trading and even after the market opened, which was halted shortly after the news broke. Twitter did not immediately respond to the request for comment, and staffers said that they had not been told the news. Dorsey also serves as chief executive for Square, as I mentioned. We will see where this goes, but the word that I'm seeing really start to, or the theme that I'm seeing narrative come out of all of this, is that they're trying to really get Twitter hipped up and monetized, just like a lot of other things you're seeing monetized out here. We will keep an eye on how that goes, right? And we do know that Jack Dorsey has been a huge advocate for Bitcoin and other cryptos. So we'll see where that goes with Square. We know it's already expanding there. Looking right here, Warren Davidson speaks to the lack of clarity here off of the piece from Charles Gasparino and Fox News. It was the investigative opus that was put together on Ripple XRP and the current case, which is really an investigation into the biggest issue on crypto today. It is the SEC versus Ripple and whether the regulatory deck was stacked against the company and tens of thousands of investors who hold XRP digital token. And listen, and I think that if anybody's read that piece and you've been in this space any length of time, you probably didn't learn much from it, but I think it was a great piece. I think it was a really well done piece because listen, you have to understand Fox News, Charles Gasparino, Eleanor Terrett, they're all speaking to a broad base of people who know nothing about crypto, the difference between the word crypto, the word Bitcoin, the word Ethereum. They don't know. So I think this was a great foundation. My only hope here is that it doesn't stop with the investigative reporting, because there is a lot more material out here to take from that really shows a much deeper and darker story that is going on and has been going on for quite some time between the SEC and Ethereum as well. Warren Davis has said this all could be resolved and prevented by passing my bipartisan Token Taxonomy Act, which was really drafted, architected by Ron Hammond, who we're going to hear from in an update from Congress here, so that investors, innovators, and regulators have a bright line standard defining what is and what is not a security. The Token Taxonomy Act should be noticed for the upcoming 12/8 FSC hearing. So we'll see how that goes. But I do know that it has been what has been endorsed of recent by Ripple has been the Elimination of Barriers Act, Securities Clarities Act, and the Digital Commodities Exchange Act. So not saying that the Token Taxonomy Act is not good. I'm just saying that those are the things of recent we've seen Ripple get behind. Now let's get an update right here with Congress. This week in Congress and crypto, it's going to be a busy next few weeks here on Capitol Hill, says Ron Hammond, the architect of the Token Taxonomy Act. He says the big event will be Wednesday, December 8th, House Financial Services Committee, which was referenced by Warren Davidson in the last tweet. Hearing on digital assets and the future of finance. Here's the latest. Witnesses are still being finalized by the committee, but it seems targets for this hearing will be executives from large crypto companies such as exchanges, stablecoin issuers, and payment providers. Witness lists usually become public a week or so out from the hearing date. I hope that Brad Garlinghouse gets the opportunity to be on that list. He goes on to say, it is likely there won't be legislation tied to this hearing. There are both good and bad connotations with this, as it signals a desire to learn more about the issue from members of Congress before proposing legislation to address an issue or policy or concern. And that is something we need. Regardless of how bad we want legislation, they need to get educated before they start wheeling around decisions and votes. Conversely, there are other good bipartisan pieces of legislation like the Token Taxonomy Act, Securities Clarities Securities Act and others that many would like to see considered, but it seems the committee will be taking more of a fact-finding approach here. And then we see the tweet from Warren Davis, and he goes on to say the last major crypto hearing in HFSC was the Oversight Subcommittee America on Fire crypto hearing in June. The difference between that hearing and the December 8th hearing is that the June one was with a smaller set of members and focused heavily on consumer protection. It is unclear if there would be additional hearings later that day or in later weeks on crypto. In Libra, it says here, we saw a second panel of witnesses who represented academia, former regulators in the industry. That hearing was less covered in the media, but it was still equally important. As details come to light over the course of this week, keeping an eye on the Senate Banking Committee as they await responses from stablecoin issuers on the business practices of regulatory obligations. Those responses are due by the end of the week, likely a hearing soon. Remember, OCC and the issuances from Brian Brooks giving permission for the federally chartered banking system to custody crypto, custody reserves for stablecoins. And that is huge. And that has been reaffirmed and given the green light by the current administration as of a week or so ago. So as a final note, he says here, for those unfamiliar with DC, there's no reset in Congress for 2022 since the elections are in November of 2022. Therefore, assume Congress will pick up where they left off in terms of business after the holidays. That means more crypto hearings and legislation. And that's good for us because it means more time for the same Congress to meet and actually come to some sort of place where, lo and behold, maybe they even vote on some legislation and pass it, right? So here's a signal here. And listen, we see this a lot. And I'm showing this because we see this kind of thing a lot. This is from Rathacom, and you should follow him. Standard Bank writes favorably of Ripple in a recent thought leadership paper detailing RippleNet and ODL and noting the cost savings. The passage details the interbank network infrastructure layer of the new financial value stack. It goes on to say inside of this, RippleNet, for example, provides DLT, decentralized network, real-time settlement of international payments. RippleNet's on-demand liquidity product uses Ripple digital currency, XRP, for fund transfers, while Xcurrent, and that's how old it is, talks about Xcurrent and those things back when the products were separate and not just considered Ripple on-demand liquidity, right? So this is just more support of what we already know. But I'm showing you that because I wanted to remind people of this. When we see all of these tidbits of information whether it's the CFPB in the United States, America, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or whether it's that Standard Bank information, or whether it's the Bank of England being a partner, or the tons of other pieces of information, here's what we need to know. This is Glenn Hutchins, former Federal Reserve president, telling you many, many things. And he's been in tech for a long time and invested in the early days of the internet and many, many other things. Extremely smart gentleman. He's going to tell you what it's like to think about the internet and what we should be thinking about when it comes to crypto. We shouldn't be thinking about the tokens at all. We should be thinking about the protocol that they run on.
I can go through them, right? You just make use of the technology and the protocols make it work. The people who really understand what's going on with digital currencies understand that putting these protocols in place, the blockchain protocol, the Ethereum protocol, the Ripple protocol, the Ripple protocol, the Ripple protocol, and then enabling those protocols to cause transactions to occur. And then those transactions can be defined very broadly as not just moving things of value, but anything that's got an information content is extraordinarily transformative. The focus on the value of the token is distracting and uninformative.
You really can't say it any better. You know, the nomenclature is the problem, right? How these things were named, calling them cryptocurrencies. I think a more appropriate term would have been payment protocols or payment networks, because that's exactly what these are when they work properly, right? It's a new payment protocol that's more scalable, more secure, more cost efficient if it's built right, like the Ripple XRP ledger, right? So, you know, that's what these things really are all about here. And then looking at that, where are we with price? Because we are seeing some serious price action right here. We're up over 8% on the 24-hour. Dark Defender says here, take a look at what we got here. We got a huge coffee cups, what we got here, right? And you can see where he's at right here. Major supports we discussed shows it right here, 97, 96 cents, which is what we've hit. And we, you know, obviously things can break lower into the 86, 76 range as well, but they haven't. And that's the important thing to note at this point. Now, with that being said, you can see he goes on to further show us here what plays out over time is somewhere getting us up into the, you know, a $20 range, right? And then a pullback. And then obviously somewhere from there, moving up into the 40 some dollar range, right? And now all of this is playing out over time. So look, it could play out quickly. It could play out over several months or a year or more. You don't know these things. And obviously, because charts are living, breathing buyers and sellers, the chart could also break and go very, very bearish, right? And break downward. But that's not what we're seeing at this point. And neither is CoinsKid. Now, CoinsKid's going to start off talking to us about the market cap. And what you're going to see is a highlight here of the cryptocurrency market cap, which is what I always start off talking about here, right? And the fact that we are up over 8% on the market cap at 2.623 trillion. So let's take a listen what he says. And then he goes into XRP as well.
Here, you know, this is total crypto market cap again. Look here, you know, you come up the stairs, you roll back to support, you come up the stairs, support, up the stairs, support. Okay, and you've held this neckline, this previous neckline, the all-time high, and the cup and handle pattern just there as support. So your technical target is 3.65. You can see you've run it to 1618, and like I said in a health video, if you do start to lose this support, you've got low support below, basically that you can hold before losing it. That gives the confirmation of the bear. Do you understand that? So this is why I'm still bullish on crypto, because you've not lost key support. It's only when you lose key support, like the 55 EMA on the weekly, if you start to come down and hit your head on that, I've always told you that it's a massive precursor. Look at the charts do not lie. If you do,
and there you have it. And I'm going to take you to the XRP cut now, where he breaks that down, and that is right here. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not following,
really importantly here, like I've said,
he's going to break down XRP now, but you see why he's calling for more bullish side, just looking at the macro crypto chart, right? And the crypto market cap. He sees way more. Think about that. We're at 2.6. He was talking about a 3.6 is where we could go here. Another $1 trillion pouring into this space. Where's the money going to go? I'll tell you what, once this case is over, for SEC versus Ripple, and we have the clarity we need for XRP to digital asset, and it becomes the most compliant, vetted digital asset on planet Earth, I bet I'll tell you where the money will go.
Said to you all week, with close above the 0618 is really important. If we can get that weekly close, it's so important, okay, because you're holding a key level support. And like I said to you, if you hold support, you're looking at continuation. If you lose support, you're looking at retesting lower support, you know. And just here, we've got the close, and boom, broke out, retested this level of resistance 050. And what happened? We melted for it, put in the high, ran it to 786, and we're coming back down. And you can see we're coiling up, you know. It doesn't take a wise man or a rocket scientist to see we're in a continuation here, looking to coil up. We're actually creating a hidden bullish divergence there. And I spoke about this yesterday. You look, we've bounced off that just there. Look at that. And then just there, we've got this weekly close, which is higher than that one. So just there, that's called a bullish divergence, okay, where you're making higher lows in the price action and you're making lower lows in the RSI. That's called a bullish divergence, basically. So right now you can see we're bouncing this week. So if this plays out, your bullish divergence played out. And I said to you, they're even more powerful the more zoomed out they are, okay? So what's important, the most important thing here is XRP is closed above the 0618, because like I said to you, if you can close this, you're going to start attacking this level of resistance just there, breaking out of this key level of resistance, holding support basically. So, you know, there is a bit of a trend line that's forming just there, isn't there? You look at that, you've come up into it, you've got horizontal, you're making higher lows and lower highs, so you're coiling up in some kind of apex just there, come up into it, continuation pattern, boom, 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 tighten up, breakout. You're looking at that test of resistance, get through that, hold support, you're looking at retracement to the high there for XRP. And like I've said to you so many times, you're looking at a minimal impulsive break to $4.50, okay? So you're holding support. It's really good, really good for XRP. So right now, you know, I just want to reassure you that you're looking healthy, okay? It's only if you start to roll and lose this key level support and close the week below the 0618, then you will probably see, you know, we're going to come down lower, and potentially, you know, this is going to be a long drawn out process where we're doing something like this. Again, we've come up into it and we've got this horizontal that we're conforming to, and we're holding that, boom, 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 and then we start to come up, you know. But at the minute, we're looking good here because we're holding this key level support to 0618. Okay, so that's basically XRP. It's looking good for continuation. continuation. So I've not done an update over the past couple of days. I've just been really, really busy. So let's just say right now, okay, XRP has held this support and we're looking at really, really bullish weeks ahead here, moving into December. We're still going to start to come back up the stairs, get back above the 20, attack this level of resistance, and we do start to break out and we break this high. If we do, you know, right here, I'm going to give you some targets for XRP.
Watch
from there,
this.
because at the minute, it's looking pretty tasty, isn't it? Because you've held that support. So for me, if you do start to come up and break out this low resistance here, you take out that high at $1.38. You're looking at impulsive break up there, taking out a 786. You know, look at that 786. That's acting as key level resistance just there. And if you remember, refer back when we was doing all this, I said to you, the longer you do that, the more you're going to come down, okay? Because you're hitting resistance, roll, hold support, hold support, hold support, up you go. Do you understand that? So it's the reverse. So right now, if you do start to come back up here and take out this high, you've got a beautiful impulsive break target to the 1618, and you really are starting to get the party started here. So from here right now, you know, it could be a further upside of 88% once you break this resistance. It is all about this resistance. You can see, look,
And it is all about that resistance. And think of that for a moment. If we break those resistance and we get past that 13857 to $1.38, and we break that area right here, he's telling us the charts are showing a bullish sign that we could make our way up to that 183 mark, and that would be 88+% or 80+% gains. And that to me is pretty remarkable if we see that kind of a move. And look, I wouldn't be surprised if we did see a new all-time high before the end of the year, or even going into January, because I know that, you know, the institutions, the hedge funds, the sophisticated financial institutions out here, they are starting to understand, if they didn't already, that this case will end in 2022 at some point. And when it does, I believe it is going to be something to witness. There's no doubt about it. Now, that's not financial advice from me or anyone else, just my personal perspective. But make sure you check out all the links in the description box and the comment section. It is Cyber Monday, by the way. Unstoppable Domains. Buy one, get one free. You can't beat it. 24-hour sale. And make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Grateful for each and every one of you. Glad we're on this journey together. And I will catch all of you on the next one.